my name is Jillian, and I'm the Canadian Recruitment Manager for anzuk.education. I work alongside my colleagues Cooper and Donald to provide North American teachers with an exceptional experience in teaching abroad.
Hey everybody. All right, my name is Cooper. I am a high school teacher here in Ontario, originally from Brampton, now living in Hamilton. I'm also a Canadian consultant for anzuk Education, and that's kind of what I'm here to introduce myself as. I've been a Canadian consultant for 2 years now with the company. Prior to that, I was teaching with them in the UK and Australia. And I've loved it. Loved every second of it. It's got to combine two of my biggest passions, which is teaching and traveling.
Hey guys, my name's Donald Adams, and I'm the Global Experience Support Officer here in Canada. I've been with anzuk Education for just over a year now.
One thing to know about the Canadian team is that we are all educators just like you. We've all been where you are and know how tough the Canadian market can be. We love to share our stories and experiences with everyone that we meet. I began my journey with anzuk about 10 years ago when I took a leap of faith and traveled to Melbourne, Australia to teach. It was the best decision I ever made. Not only did I walk away with a ton of experience, I also got to travel and see the world in the meantime.
I was lucky enough to spend a year in the UK teaching in London and a year in Australia teaching in Melbourne. Living with Donald in both locations, it was so much fun, and I've absolutely enjoyed this role for 2 years, being able to help educators do exactly what we did. Teach, travel the world, learn about different cultures, and get to meet some really, really cool people along the way.
And my teaching abroad story starts at Western University, where I went to a teaching fair and found out about the opportunity of being able to teach abroad. The following year, I lived and taught in London, where I was able to convince 3 of my friends from Western to come with me, and the 4 of us lived and taught just outside London, and we traveled Europe all through that year. Towards the end of that year, I found out that I could continue the adventure and go teach in Australia. I convinced one of those guys, Cooper, to come with me, and the 2 of us lived and taught in Australia. I stayed an extra year than him. I was able to do my farm work, and since coming back to Canada just over a year and a half ago, I moved to Vancouver just because I love Melbourne so much, and I wanted to find a city where I could kind of replicate that lifestyle.
What I loved most about teaching abroad was all of the amazing people that I met along the way, especially the students. Melbourne will definitely be like a second home to me for life. Since returning to Canada, I've been lucky enough to continue on my journey with anzuk, working with educators who have also caught that travel bug and are looking for their next adventure. Nothing beats reminiscing about those good old days and seeing the excitement in an educator's eyes when they're ready to start their journey with us. I've been able to share this part of my life with my husband and hope to one day bring my children to some of those amazing places that I got to visit.
Where I went and I loved most was the UK, in particular for the history and the way of life out there. The move to Australia was amazing for the outdoors and how many similarities there were to Canada. But being in the UK as well, you got to travel all of Europe. And the history they have there is much more than our 150 some odd year history in Canada. So every day it was kind of something new. You were walking down a road that was 200 years old, or you went to a pub that was 400 years old, and it's crazy, crazy stories out there. Loved every second of it. My favorite part about this role and being the Canadian consultant is helping the educators, helping you guys get to travel and, like I said, do what we did. Starting from the start, now 2 years in, I've actually got to see people who've gone abroad and are now finishing up their visas and coming home, connecting with them along the way and getting to hear those stories. Some, similarities. Hey, did we go to that place? Did you teach at that school? Some major differences, right? Everyone has a different experience for sure. But it's really sharing those stories, building those relationships, and to be perfectly honest, learning from maybe the mistakes we had made initially. anzuk is really good at connecting all their educators, whether they've been, whether they're going, or whether they're there with each other. And we all get to use it as a network opportunity to, share some obviously positives, share on some of the mistakes we made, share on some of the benefits, and that sort of thing.
As a mom of 2 young ones, I can only hope that one day my children will be able to experience something similar, no matter where their career path might take them. If I had one top travel tip, it would be for educators to just explore. Being able to see these amazing places is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so definitely take it while you can.
when you guys are traveling, my top tip is to socialize, network, meet people. I think one of my biggest things, whether it was just traveling to teach or traveling around Europe or any of the travel I do now, who you travel with is just as important as where you go. So don't stress it. There's a lot of social events that the company puts on, a lot of social events in each place that you'll meet educators from around the world, including Canada. We have social events before you leave. And if you ever are feeling kind of isolated, reach out to us. Use the networks, use the teachers. Like I said, it was my favorite part of the entire experience. Now that I'm back in Canada, as a teacher, I'm using those 2 years of experience to bring all the things I've learned in the classes abroad back to these Canadian classrooms. And I really do feel that if you show me someone who travels, I can show you someone who cares about the world. So we hope to make good educators, help everyone on their own journey. And just like teaching, every day in the classroom is a little different. Everyone has their own plan. As I mentioned, when I started out, I wasn't even really looking to go abroad. And that's been a lot of fun too. Whether you're looking to relocate permanently, whether you just want to go for a year, 6 months, 2 years, or maybe you don't even have a plan. Being able to build that from the start, build that connection with educators and watch what that has turned into over the last few years and hopefully here in the future is the most rewarding thing of all. So I really hope to connect with some of you soon. Please reach out whenever. I love talking about it. My family's here, tired of hearing about my travel stories. So I'd love to share them with you and hopefully we can work something out. Happy teaching, happy traveling.
My favorite part of this role is talking to our educators over the phone or at university fairs or even in person and just getting them excited about the experience that they're in for. Having lived it myself, both teaching in London and Australia, I love sharing my personal experiences and helping them out, and I know that what they're getting into is something they're gonna love just because that I've lived it, and it's awesome. The opportunity as us as educators to be able to teach and travel all around the world is something that I always push for and tell people that not all careers have this opportunity to take advantage of it. If I had one traveling tip for our educators, it is not to stress when you travel and you will see the big things and just let all the little things fall into place. For example, if you go to Rome, you're gonna see the Colosseum, so don't worry. Just focus on the other stuff and get all that in line and you'll have a blast. So thanks a lot and really look forward to talking to you if you're thinking about traveling and teaching abroad, and I'd love to get you started on your first step. Thanks.